But
All right, why don't we get started? Let me get the mind map up for you, James, and we'll give the floor to you.
All righty then.
make it big enough. Okay.
Live from Georgia with your host, Rob Holmes. NFTs Explained. Is this a Cyber FM button?
Cyber.fm.
Nice.
So, Rob and Martin got together and contacted me earlier in the week, and they said, James? And I said, yes, Rob and Martin. So we need you to talk about NFTs. And I said, oh, really? Okay. So we put together this mind map, and I think Kevin is a bit more crypto savvy than maybe other people. I wish Fabrizio was here, but
He's on his way.
He's on his way. So I want to be able to. Kevin, what do you does this what Rob has opened up sound right to you from your understanding of an NFT?
Yeah,
they originated on Ethereum. They do exist on other chains as well, but Ethereum's grandpa.
yeah, and you're right. It does appear to be like a trading card. That's the best way of trying to explain it. I think. Unique.
Garbage
tokens.
Pail Kids is a great example from when we were kids.
Aren't they doing baseball card NFTs now? Is it Tops?
Yep.
And all that sort of thing. So
Tops is getting into it. Hot Wheels is getting into it with their cars.
That's right.
And The Walking Dead is releasing an NFT series.
Oh, really?
If you watch The Walking Dead. There's the James NFT. So this is me, right? This is a work in progress. This is the artist. This is the last draft that the artist had sent about, how's it going? And I was like, oh my God. So if this was to be minted out as an NFT, using the particular system that we are at Cyber FM implementing, is that when you mint out, which, and we'll discuss what minting is, but when you create your own NFT of James, right? You're a fan of me and you want an NFT like I'm a Garbage Pail Kid. It's going to randomly generate, and this is the question that we're having with the artist, what might be on my shirt? What color might the fire be shooting out of the back of the wheelchair? Should what color would the hat be? Could I have a rainbow goatee? So and your version of my NFT is going to be different than Rob's version of my NFT. So then you might want to trade. You'd be like, oh, James is blue and yellow on yours. And Rob's like, I need to get $100 for this, man. This is the blue and yellow James. But the actual artist rendition at the end of this would be very high resolution, perhaps animated. He's asking, do the flames jiggle? So, and that's one of my beta test NFTs. An NFT could be anything. It could be a drawing. It could be music. It could be video. It could be the title to your car in the future. In the future, I should be able to sell my car to somebody and do the transaction via the blockchain, and inside that NFT is the VIN, and in a perfect world, the registration, and where you wouldn't have to move from, if Rob's in Jersey and I'm in Georgia, the license plate should be tied to the NFT because complete ownership moves over. The insurance company might get updated that you've bought this NFT, and all of that is wrapped inside. That's a beyond artwork use case for an NFT. So NFTs right now, as we know them in 2022, we're using art as the use case with a greater goal of Airbnb, where you own a week of somebody's house in LA. That's how broad NFTs can go. But right now, if we're looking at a bunch of bored apes and funky looking monkeys, they are, when they're treated that way, much like Garbage Pail Kids, they're speculative, right? You believe that this NFT is going to be worth more later because in the music world, a good example is I'm working with the photographer who was, and a lot of people know how the music industry is a little wild. So the Clash was a band out of the UK, right? They had one photographer, and only one photographer. Nobody else was allowed to photograph them. And the Clash today, ironically, Clash, you cannot get two of them in one room, nonetheless a phone call. I've tried it, and it's exciting to say the least. So the photographer knows that he no longer has a career with the Clash. He's decided that since he actually owns the intellectual property of the photographs that he's taken of the Clash, he's going to produce NFTs of the original negatives that will be generated from the photos that he took throughout the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And he's making a killing. He's also working with the album cover artist of the Clash, and they are redesigning the album covers using clay and plastic and 3D printing. So what's going to happen is you're a Clash fan. You've established your target audience as a fan of the Clash. The band wants nothing to do with anything that has to do with the Clash. So they're like, do whatever you want. We can't even agree to disagree on the permission. They know that they own the photographer owns the intellectual property. He's working with the album cover guy. They're going to put together an NFT where you will bid on the NFT of the high-res photo of the Clash live at CBGB's in Manhattan, 1977. This photo was taken by me, and the album that they were touring on is this album cover. And when you buy that NFT, you're going to have a signed, replicated copy actually mailed to you that you can hang on your wall. So there's a package, kind of like what we were saying about car registration. More than one thing could go inside that NFT. So with the Clash, you're getting an album cover, you're getting a photo of a stage performance, and you're physically going to get something mailed to you in that one so that becomes worth a lot. And much like eBay, if I was to take my Black Sabbath reunion tour CD set and put it on eBay, I'm going to get a lot more for it today than, well, maybe not a lot more than the time and energy that I invested to get that CD set signed. Maybe after one of them, Tony Iommi, I think, passed away. Geezer passed away. Unfortunately, Ozzy is on that list, as we all are. That CD set might increase in value. In the future, I may not go on eBay and sell my Black Sabbath reunion CD set. I might create an NFT with a photo of it and a video of me opening it, pulling the CD out, showing you the CD, showing you all the autographs. And then I will auction that off on OpenSea or an NFT marketplace where I've got a secure transaction, and then I'll ship them that actual CD set. So that's another reason why they're non-fungible. Even though they're unique, there's no other edition of my Black Sabbath reunion CD set. You'll have the only one. There could be not a single NFT like it again. Makes sense to anybody?
Hmm.
So you want to go with create? How would I create that NFT? I might want to take one of the, now we're talking about a physical CD for Black Sabbath. So I might have to run that CD through a CD-ROM, pull Paranoid, convert it to an MP3 in Audacity. Then I'm going to take a photo of the autographs and a photo of the album cover. I might throw it into Photoshop and put it together, maybe a tile, so that you can see every page. Because if you're going to buy an authentic CD set from me, you're going to want to know what kind of condition it's in, right? I'll do all that in Photoshop. I'll take the MP3 out of Audacity, and then I'll package that together in the NFT, so that you'll be able to view everything that's for sale in the NFT. And then you'll receive your actual CD when you buy it. Now, a difference in modern day world is Martin is writing a song for Fabrizio, who composed the original tune, and they only want to sell it as a ringtone via NFT. No tangible item is going to arrive in anybody's hand. It's going to be the same thing. We've watched Martin use those tools where we took Jazzy's composition, we added drums, we added guitar, the triangle, and the cowbell, which was key to making that NFT much more expensive, if you ask me. Right? So now we've created that in that software, and we're going to wrap it up in the NFT. And Martin is going to say, okay, when we sell this on the marketplace, which we'll get to, we're going to preview everybody in 128K, 44,100 hertz, FM radio quality, CD quality version. And we're going to apply a video to it, and the video might be in 720p. That way you're deciding if you want to buy this. When you actually buy that NFT, you're getting the original lossless audio. You're going to get the 4K video resolution of the video, right? Kind of like with the Clash example, you might get the 40 megapixel high-res JPEG. But the world didn't. The world got the preview version, or the watermarked version. That's what you're going to see until you buy the NFT of Fabrizio's ringtone that you'll now download onto your phone in the highest lossless quality of audio. There's no tool that you can't apply in the NFT. If you're selling a car, you could stick the Carfax in the NFT. If you're writing a song, you can put the paper lyrics, the notebook that you wrote the lyrics to the song in there, along with the AICC files or MP3, whatever you're using. You can do all of it and then sell the final package. The world is literally your oyster. There's nothing that you couldn't get away with putting in an NFT down to speculative rights. Air rights for a condo in Manhattan could be sold in an NFT. Click on the where can you sell. This should be short.
So
and
is this
sweet.
all recognized legally by legal authority, that if there are any issues, that this is all, legally regulated? Like if there's an issue, you went into a court of law, that there's not legislation, but that there's, legalities to all of this where you can exercise your rights, whether you're the one selling, purchasing, whatever the case may be, or copyright, that you're selling something that may in fact be somebody else's.
So also open up the the NFT recurring royalties, because this is easy. That's a great question, and you probably just triggered my brain. So we have these marketplaces like OpenSea and Rarible Grimes Choice I've never used. Nifty is owned by Gemini, I believe. And you have peer-to-peer, right? So we created Fabrizio's song, and we composed it, and we launched it on OpenSea. And on OpenSea, it sold for $500. And it kind of acts like eBay. Maybe we chose an auction way of selling it. The auction winner wins it. He gets the transaction, and he now owns Fabrizio's composition. And then Glynis comes in and says, hey, I contributed to that spot where you hear the triangle. We say to Glynis, well, we took that into consideration. All of Cusp contributed a little bit, and don't you worry. In that NFT, on the blockchain side of the technology, we decided that Fabrizio agreed, in this example, to accept 90% of all the sales, and that the 10% goes to Martin and me and Glynis and Kevin and even Gary. We're going to throw Gary 2%. Poor guy needs. Hey, I spoke to Gary yesterday, by the way.
Oh yeah.
How's he doing?
He said boobs, but I converted that to how are you?
He's up and down, put it that way.
Yeah.
I speak to him regularly in the week just to make sure he's doing okay.
He popped in and he said boobs, and I was like, hey, how you doing? So Gary gets 2%, Kevin gets 2%, Glynis gets, we all get 2%, 5 of us get 2%, and Fabrizio agreed to get 10%.
Where's my cut?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my cut?
You're in the 5.
Maybe it's 1.8%.
Okay, I'll take it.
You could do that though. You'll set those percentages. Now what'll happen is my friend Chris bought Fabrizio's NFT originally. So he decides he likes it, it's pretty cool. He's gonna change ringtones in it later. So now he sells the NFT on Wearable. And he makes $500. He bought it for $500. He sells it for $850, creating a $350 profit on the same NFT. Fabrizio and party go, oh, hey, you're making money off of my work, my hard work? We decided that 10% inside that NFT always goes back to the founding fathers. So it becomes a recurring royalty after the first sale. Now, what's nice about it, if you think about it, we sold for $500. Fabrizio got 90%, but my math is broken, so the rest of us got $50 from that $500 sale. Now that Chris sold it for $850, $85 comes back to Cusp, where we agree that Fabrizio gets 90% of that $85, but we made another $8.50. So we continue to hope that these people sell and flip and trade these NFTs, and that's why you want Fabrizio to become famous, because now, a year from now, his original NFT is on the market at Sotheby's for $15,000. And then 1,500 of that 15,000 comes back to Cusp. And then 150 of it goes back in the Cusp pool, because the other 1,350 went to Fabrizio. And now you brought up an issue about legal rights. So we all think that we've agreed upon fairness and royalties, and we drew up a contract with Fabrizio, and his partner agreed to it, and everybody's Gucci. Steven Tyler pops up one day and goes, hey man, those first 4 notes sound a whole lot like Walk This Way. And now he takes us to court. I don't know what. None of us would know what any court outcome would be, right? But I'm going to say that cryptocurrency is a recognized asset in the United States. And the term asset is very lenient. Your car is an asset. Your stock is an asset. Your MP3 is an asset. The IRS recognizes cryptocurrency as an asset. It's how you use that asset as to whether or not you're taxed, how you're taxed, capital gains versus income, etc. We would argue that this is income. A judge is going to say, well, this asset is being questioned on as to its originality. So I would say, to answer that question, yes, a judge could very well override and decide that Steven Tyler is due X amount of percentage of those royalties. And we would have a problem. We would actually have a problem because blockchains are immutable. We would not be able to update this NFT to automatically pay Steven Tyler. So you would have an old school court judgment where Cusp would be responsible for ensuring that the original composer got his percentage if the judge was to judge that way. So the old school does meet the new school in terms of copyright protection.
And how, like, once you make an NFT sale, trade, whatever it is, how then from, say, if you were the originator and you're making royalties, how do you keep track of the future transactions?
So all crypto is generated by a wallet. And in this case, in our example, it is an Ethereum. So you're going to have that 0x famous CyberFM type wallet. A CyberFM wallet would be compatible. So now you've launched your NFT when you minted it. That's the term they use, mint. And you sold it. And when you sell it on OpenSea, the smart contract that is generated, which is what the NFT would be, always knows to send that money to your wallet. There's nothing that you have to do. So if 5% always goes back to the 0x wallet that is owned by Fabrizio and his partner, that money will always flow that way. Which is nice because Cusp Productions would never have to say, oh, look, another sale. Here's your 10%, Fabrizio. It's all automated. And transparent on the blockchain. Nobody can argue it.
Got it.
So like we were saying, when you sell the
Hello.
NFT. Hey.
Oh, hey,
Ciao
hey.
James,
Hey,
ciao Rob,
Fabrizio.
ciao Glenn,
Ciao.
ciao Kevin, ciao everybody.
Oh,
We're
How are
talking
you?
about how we're making you rich.
Nice.
Someday.
I like this.
Someday we'll make you rich.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
And hopefully people can help me come up with a great summary of what was missed. But we're talking about NFTs.
Mhm.
We're using your extremely talented composition as an example.
Ah, thank you. Sorry
For-
for being late, but other issues. Go on.
Right, yeah. So the gist of it is, and maybe this is a good use case in real time, because if you don't know what an NFT is, what we're saying is that we are securely taking the composition that you've created, that we worked on to improve and expand, and now we're out marketing it and we're selling it. And as it gets sold on the blockchain, the royalties that you and your partner maybe agreed that you should always receive would automatically continuously flow to you. There's no need for us to worry about writing that check on time. There's no need for you to worry about if anybody nickel and dimed you, right? It's all controlled by what you call a smart contract, where we just sit there and collect money. And we all happily drink a beer or a soda and laugh at the money that flows in.
Okay.
And then we were about to discuss how. How does that happen? Right? So a unique custom written Fabrizio NFT might go auction style if you're already famous. You're famous and everybody wants the hot new Fabrizio one. We're putting that up in an auction. The bidding starts at $100.
Mhm.
Maybe we secretly, optionally set a reserve. Look, the bidding's going to start at 100, but we are not going to commit to selling this unless it hits 900. So that's, and you know how reserve auctions work. No different than back in the day. And the fans of Fabrizio are going crazy. They are bidding 600, 650. Do I hear 7? Finally, it breaks the reserve, and we know that that NFT is now going to get sold.
Okay.
It breaks the reserve of $900, sold. That Fabrizio ringtone is now in the hands of Joey Smith in Kansas. And he's now, if he decides to resell it later, that's where the royalties come back in the lower corner with the recurring royalties. And when he decides to sell it, he's going to sell it for $950. And then the next guy is going to say, all right, they all want to sell it for a profit. So your recurring royalties always increase because we've decided that that's a percentage, not a dollar, not a lira, not a euro. It's 10% of whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah,
So
I get it.
now, what is that NFT that we sold? Did Fabrizio sell the copyright and reproduction rights? Did Fabrizio say in this NFT, as long as I'm getting my 10%, you could go ahead and remix? You could play this as a mashup at a club. You're allowed to do whatever you want because I'm giving you the copyrights. Or is that NFT saying, nope, no, you can't. You can't mess with it. It's only this composition. Because if you want a remix version, we're going to do that and sell that as a second NFT.
Yes.
Right? Because we want them to be unique. But maybe the NFT series, maybe it's the Fabrizio Piano AC/DC series. And then he's going to say, well, you could get Highway to Hell in its purest composition. But series number 2, right? The Fabrizio Highway to Hell number 2 and a numbered copy is a remix. So we're still maintaining that NFTs are always unique. There's only one that's available out there, but it's part of a series now. We have the drum and bass Highway to Hell, right? We have the Highway to Hell without the fedora on my head in the video. I bet you there might be fans that want to know what's under that hat. I've got the secret one. So that's how an NFT is unique. As Fabrizio becomes more famous, and as his ringtones and his albums start to become traded publicly everywhere, we have what's called a floor price. It's your average price. We know that Fabrizio's floor price is now $900. So when Fabrizio's next NFT comes out, don't expect it to be 400. The floor price established by the market has made Fabrizio worth $900. If we were to set the price at $850, they're going to flock to you. Maybe we're going to guarantee a bid. But maybe Fabrizio goes, look, guys, here's the special one that I'm releasing right now. I wrote it for my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Dear to me. It is
Yes.
dear to me. And this is, in fact, the royalties are going to go to my daughter because this is her birthday song. We know that if the Fabrizio floor price is $900, we're starting this one off at $1,300. Right? The floor price allows us to establish a reason why this is so valuable. And it's basically telling you because the market has already agreed that Fabrizio is the hot new player.
Here's some examples of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. These
So
are
if you
the
scroll up, it'll tell you the floor price.
101 Ethereum.
Hmm.
So if you scroll down a little bit, this 88 one is a hot deal because it's under the floor price. So as the time ticks down, it's gonna become a little bit more.
88 Ethereum.
Yeah.
88. Look at that. It's $250,000, and it's below the floor price.
What am I doing with my life?
I know. I know.
Yeah, yes. Quarter
This
of a
one's-
million.
This one's 301,000.
And click on it. Show them what these people are spending $300,000 on.
This.
Listen,
What's that? What's that?
I love you and all. I'm thrilled for the industry. Call me old. I'm not paying $300,000 for that.
What are they paying for? For what? What's the Bored Ape Yacht Club?
This picture.
That you remember Garbage Pail Kids?
Are they paying for that picture?
Remember baseball cards? They're paying for that picture.
Really?
What's the other one? Pokemon? Is it that kind of thing?
Pokemon. So, description, property. Click on properties on that drop down tab there. So, I want the prison jumpsuit, punk blue background, Bored Ape with his eyes closed. I have to have it. Only 23% of these Bored Apes have this trait.
Prison jumpsuit. I can't believe that.
I have to have this one.
Of course you do.
I'm going to go bid 93.
So is it that you can then click on those other options and modify
No.
that? Oh, okay.
No, what it's saying is
How rare
That-
it is.
These are the unique stats for this
your other
particular
Bored
one.
Ape is not going to be in a prison jumpsuit. So if you want the prison jumpsuit one, this is the one.
Only 2%.
Only 2% of the other NFTs have a prison jumpsuit. But remember, NFTs have to be unique. So the other 2% of the prison jumpsuit probably don't have the eyes closed. Don't you get that? Mine's the only one with the eyes closed.
Yeah. So you had to distinguish yourself with something special.
It's wild.
You had to be unique. One off. Oh,
One of. That's why the Fabrizio daughter's birthday song, we would set that higher floor price. We'd go, you don't understand. He's only got one birthday to write for, and this is it. That's the speculation. That's why they sell ridiculous prices. And that's how you get your floor price going. So what do you need to sell the NFT? How do we do it? We talked about it, right? We need a crypto wallet based on the chain that we choose, but they're all basically 0x, like Cyber FM wallet. So that's interchangeable. What that means is that you have one wallet, but it could flip between Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom, all these different unique blockchains that really the only purpose in different blockchains right now is cost of use. Gas price, it's a thing called gas price, and it's not any different than what you're thinking of when I say gas price. Ethereum is premium, and I'm tired of paying for super. So over on Polygon, what might cost me $1 to create might only cost me 10 cents on Polygon. So I'm going to choose Polygon. But my 0x address works on all those different layers of the 0x blockchain. So we need that wallet. We need the unique art. Now we know we got Fabrizio and we got Martin, right? So unique art will be beautiful. We're not worried about that. We need the NFT service itself, which is really the blockchain. Are we going to choose Ethereum? Are we going to choose Polygon? Maybe we get greedy and you have on Polygon the Fabrizio birthday song not available on Ethereum. But you can get a cover of Dream On by Fabrizio on Ethereum. Right? So now we're valuing the different chains. So that's our NFT services. We could also say Fabrizio and his partner could put up their own website and say, you don't need to go to OpenSea or Rarible or Nifty. You could come right here and get it for me fresh. And we would market, hey, guy, and it's called a drop. You're going to hear people say there's an NFT drop. Snoop Dogg is doing an NFT drop at 3 o'clock. It might be OpenSea, it might be Rarible, or if you're like The Walking Dead or Hot Wheels, you might say, get to walkingdead.com for the NFT airdrop. When we drop this, you're going to get an ability, what an airdrop would be. This is really how you hype people up. We're going to airdrop you a token that says you are allowed to participate in buying. Could you imagine? You tell your next door neighbor, yeah, you know what you did wrong? You didn't get permission to buy Fabrizio's NFT. You got to be quicker than that. Now that guy's pissed. And if he's a Fabrizio fan, he's going to pay top dollar because he didn't get access.
Oh, nice. That's a nice
You would do
strategy.
Fabrizio's like, I am the king of the world. That's what you need to sell the NFT. So you need a crypto wallet. Oh, look, a little YouTube video. I don't know. I don't recall that one. But a good 0x crypto wallet. I personally use Metamask and Trust Wallet.
Yeah,
And I also-
MetaMask is good. Quite
And
easy
I
to
also,
use.
for backup redundancy, I actually generate my wallets with the CyberFM wallet generator. And then I stick them in Metamask or Trust Wallet.
MetaMask and Trust Wallet. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Metamask.
these are your
so
favorites. Okay.
These are my favorites.
MetaMask I find very easy to use.
So the video,
Coinbase is a great wallet, but it's a little bit less accepted out in the wild, wild west of the world. Fortmatic, I've never messed with.
so I posted a link to the video that shows you how to get a crypto wallet. It's a really good series that everybody should watch. It's like an 8-minute video.
If we were to talk about security, here's an important thing to say with crypto wallet. It would require a whole nother show. And maybe you could even go next week if you want. But when you take on, you've made that decision that you're going to own your own crypto wallet, the amount of responsibility involved is another child. As you can see, one of these NFTs alone are selling for $300,000. And you need to ask yourself, if I got 6 of those, how much do I trust my own ability to keep that money secure?
Yes.
There is no bank. Like, with complete transparency, we have multiple firearms in this household because we have wallets that are stored away in safes. And I am not a bank. If you walk into a bank, what do you see? Security guards, cameras, and a safe. And in the crypto world, it is quite possible that you have more money on your iPhone than your bank does in Rahway. So security of owning a crypto wallet, it's easy, but it's also very conscious. There's do's and there's don'ts, and that could be a whole hour-long thing as a class.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because you
that would
do
be
treat it
nice.
like, you treat it like in America, we have the social security number. We treat it worse than that. We already know there's people that accidentally give away their social security number all the time. This would be a bigger mistake than that. So security is of the utmost. And I'm not trying to scare you, but MetaMask and Trust Wallet, you have the reason they're successful is that they are saying this is the type of wallet where you are the only one who controls everything.
I get
And that's-
MetaMask spam emails all the time saying my wallet's been compromised. So you know there's something to it when you start getting spam emails.
You're
Let
gonna
them try to
miss
hack
getting
your
the
account.
you're gonna miss getting the car warranty calls because those are the easiest scammers to identify.
Yep.
When you're on a website and it says connect your wallet to get the next, and you're like, am I on this website? Is this am I really, is there an SSL padlock in the corner? Did I type in the address correctly? Because I'll do that. Coinbase.com can become COIINBASE.com, and all of a sudden you're on the wrong website.
One of the best scams I ever saw was a crypto exchange called Bittrex, and someone set up a fake website, but the domain was B1
Yes.
TTREX. And over a certain period of time, because 1 is higher in the ranking than I, it would float up to become the top result. And they got away with millions from that little
So
scheme.
I speak from experience when I tell you in social media from Cyber FM, there are a multitude of James Tyleys and Jay Tyleys. I had somebody come to me, and one day they were like, "Hey man, you gonna give me back that 4 ETH that I lent you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah, I gave you the 4. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I gave you the 4 ETH. You're gonna pay me back Monday." And I said, "Why would I ever ask you for 4 ETH? I'm not in a position in life where I need to borrow 4 ETH. I'm sorry, it's the truth. And who are you? Why would I go? Hey man, can you can you loan me 4 ETH?" And the answer was, "Well, you're James Tyley, and I thought you needed it."
Huh.
So I'm flattered. Who was it? I gotta help you now. Who was it? It was this guy here, JTYLEEE.
Oh.
And I said to him, "There's very few words in the English language that have 3 vowels in a row. Nonetheless, a name. Think about that." And then it happened with JTY1EE. They're out there. And as the runner of Cyber FM and mainstream for the underground, they know that I'm watched. They know that I speak. I'm a speaker. Unfortunately, it's humbling to say, but I'm an influencer. I am known out there better sometimes than I realize. And you will find loads and loads of J. Tyleys. Apparently, I Tyley. The I looks like a lowercase j if you really want to get messed with. And then you've got other ones that go, if you notice, if you follow me on Telegram, it might drive you nuts that I change my photo all the time. Because they copy my photo, they copy my bio. So next week I'm going to change my avatar so that these hackers can, oh crap, now I got to download a stupid image, and they really copy you. So, security. I have told people, I heard this the other day. When you go to a crypto convention event in New York City, make sure that you bring your ledger. And what a ledger is like, imagine a keychain the size of a USB drive, and it's an electronic wallet. They're like, the only way to be the most secure is for you to have all of your crypto on a ledger or a nano and keep it in your pocket. That way you know it's with you at all times. And I broke them when I said, in Manhattan? In Manhattan, where if I'm smart enough to see the word ledger, an old company logo on your key ring, and I take a bat to your head and behind 46th Street, do you call that secure? Don't do that. That is not secure. So even the security people I would disagree. I'm a New Yorker. I was born and bred that way. I'm not going to carry a fat wallet out of a bar on Nassau Street. Why am I going to walk around with a device that screams, I have a bunch of crypto here?
Right.
That is not secure. And yet there are people that will advise you that is the most secure thing you can do until you've gotten beaten down. And there's a gun to your head telling you, you tell me the password right now. If you rob my wallet and you steal my Visa card, I could probably argue I'm not going to tell you my PIN. Why aren't you going to tell me my PIN? Well, there's only $86 on the card. I'll just go to the ATM and pull it out for you. But if I'm walking around with something that screams I'm rich, they will put that gun to your head and tell you, give me that password. Which goes back to the idea that we have firearms in this house. We have a fireproof safe. In fact, if you want to get crazy, you have to use a key to open a drawer. To open that drawer, to pull out the firearm, and to pull out the key that opens the safe that gets to a big crypto wallet. So robbing my house, probably not the smartest move in the world. But that's how, when you are worth $300,000 per, and I'm not saying that, but when you're Fabrizio and each one of your NFTs are selling for $300,000, there's no insurance policy.
Nope.
It comes down to how good can you take a swing at a bad guy.
So that's an interesting thing. Like you say, money in the bank, normal fashion is protected up to only 100 through the FDIC. Do you feel with the government insinuating themselves into cryptocurrency and all that, that there will be some type of insurance protection in the future?
So that's a great question, right? Because in Coinbase, which everybody uses Coinbase, your money is only insured by FDIC when you're sitting in US dollar. So in an apocalyptic event, or in a financial crash of 08, if crypto existed, if that was to happen again, you're only going to be protected in Coinbase if you took all your Bitcoin and Ethereum and flipped it into USD on Coinbase. So when Coinbase files bankruptcy, you get to say that was protected by the FDIC. If it was Bitcoin or Ethereum, it would not be.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I knew they were insured, but I didn't know that those were the terms.
So these exchanges might tell you they have private insurance.
And these keys,
Just like I might tell you, don't worry, I've got Allstate and I accidentally hit you on the highway. Turns out I didn't pay my Allstate bill, but you don't know that.
and these ledgers aren't protected like a credit card. You can't just call and get another card.
Correct. Oh no, if you lose your keys,
You lose out.
go watch the Big Bang Theory episode about the lost Bitcoin. It's the greatest episode in the world, but it's very educational.
And
What
if you have-
they go through to find that key, what they go through to find the file that has the name of the key on a laptop. And I won't ruin it for you because it's a fantastic episode. Just Google Big Bang Theory, lost Bitcoin, and it's actually educational and comedic.
And if you have to buy a ledger, only ever buy it from ledger.com. Don't buy Amazon, eBay, any other third parties. Always
Absolutely,
buy
good
directly
point.
from the source.
Well, they had a thing where somebody hacked into either Ledger or Nano, and they were sending out fake malware ledgers to the owners.
I'm out. So I don't know. I think I use it as an example for getting beat up on the street. I do not own one. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in a battery. If it has a battery, it could be hacked, right? So even on your phone with your Trust Wallet installed, that might be your walking around money, not your life savings. Your life savings, we could have a whole show about security with crypto. How to air gap a generated wallet that has never touched the internet, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Is that the whole episode right there?
Yep.
I saw a very interesting scam from some of these fake ledgers. They would basically get the proper package and then unwrap them and then print out one of these, scratch cards.
With the seed words or the keys?
That's right. So it was effectively a pre-set up device. So people would just scratch the card. Oh, there's my number, there's my seed, and start using it. And then within a few hours, all their funds would be drained. Yeah, very, very clever. So always buy from the real source, not eBay or Amazon or a third party. That's my top piece of advice, really. If you're going to get a ledger.
I met a guy that bought 12 dog tags from a flea market. Okay? And then he went home and he generated an air gapped wallet. He made the decision that he was going to create this one big wallet, right? His safe one. He bought 12 dog tags from a flea market, created the air gap wallet, and then he's artistic. He imprinted each seed word on each dog tag. And then on the other side of the dog tag had a number. Seed word 1, Joe. Seed word 2, explain. And then he took all the dog tags and he put them in a fireproof safe. If you have a fire, dog tags are aluminum. They're not going to burn up like paper. This is as crazy as he went with security. And actually, genius.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Like I said, that could be a whole nother hour show.
Yeah.
Sounds
We'll
good.
collaborate on that, James.
Yeah, because
That
you go
sounds
through
good,
all this
James.
effort and you need to protect absolutely all your effort in investment.
Security is
for
the
sure.
key. Yeah.
Security is the key, and we take it for granted. Everybody takes it for granted.
These are the two top things to remember. Not your keys, not your coins, and be your own bank. They're the two things. But, as James said, being your own bank inherently comes filled with dangers, especially if anyone knows about it.
That's for
Help
sure.
me to understand a little bit, and I didn't read any in-depth story on it, but is the government looking to get their piece of the action on this whole Bitcoin and Ethereum stuff?
Oh, they do today. In the United States, I can speak on behalf of that.
Mhm.
Coinbase will send a 1099 to the Internal Revenue Service. So if you made over 20 grand in transactions, you're going to want to go ahead and grab that 1099 from Coinbase.com and make sure you include it in your taxes, because that'll be a capital gain or loss if you're lucky in the tax world. And the regular capital gains taxes apply. So short term is up to 48%, right? Long term capital gains are your tax bracket that you reside in the United States.
Long term being over a year, right?
You're right. The tax year.
Yeah. All right. I have 2 quotes for this week.
Sweet.
First quote is, for the merchant, even honesty is financial speculation.
That
Yeah,
covers
like
security real well.
Said by a French. That's great.
Yes.
Honestly.
And in practical life, the wisest and soundest person or people avoid speculation. Buyer beware.
Said not Warren Buffett.
Yeah,
Right.
words to live
George
by.
Earl Buckle. Don't know him.
Who's George Earl Buckle? I want to have a conversation with him.
Yeah. Who's that person?
Who is this guy?
Well, let's take a look.
George Earl Buckle died a poor man robbing the Undertaker.
George Buckle.
Yeah.
English editor and biographer.
Editor of the Times.
Oh yeah.
That says a lot.
19th century. Wow.
That was when the
editor of
Times was a proper publication.
Right.
Not these days.
We were still folding it correctly then.
Yeah.
editor of the Times. Yeah.
There you go.
George Earl Buckle. Yeah. Charles Jacques Baudelaire.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions about NFTs?
And by the way,
Anything-
if you don't like speculation, there are things called stable coins.
right?
Okay? The price doesn't change, and you would use that like a dollar. If I'm going to sell my car, it's for 3,500 USDT. It's always the same price. It doesn't speculate.
Mm-mm.
So George Earl Buckle could have had a future in crypto as well.
There you go. Well, thank you, James. Really appreciate you.
I'm just going to
Thanks a lot,
attach,
James.
yeah, thank you very much. I'm just going to
Yeah.
attach an article. Just give me half a second. It's let me just paste the link.
So Biden signed an executive order this past week.
Is that what this is? The U.S. is looking to have more say in crypto regulation?
And this is how we actually, fear and greed in the markets and all that, right? You could do a quarter a week every week forever. Buy the fear, sell the greed. So Biden signed an executive order this past week, and everybody said, we're going to ban Bitcoin, right? And the EU is doing something similar, or the UK is doing something similar. They're going to ban Bitcoin. The UK wants to, there's a thing called proof of work and proof of stake, and one is not very green. So the UK is like, we don't want people creating new coins that are going to destroy the environment with kilowatts in energy. So they weren't going to ban Bitcoin. They want to stop Kevin from creating the next energy inefficient Bitcoin. That's what they want to do. But in the United States, I like to clarify because people come up with the craziest tinfoil hat, Weird Al Yankovic stories. In the United States, Biden signed an executive order. It moved the market for a little while, up and down, because it's the president, who, if you ask me, doesn't know much about what's going on at all. But this guy signed an executive order that says, I will form a group of people that will have the authority to investigate one kind of coin and decide what we should perhaps do to it. That's nothing. That's not worth the paper it's written on of anything that was inefficient. You could have went on ABC television and said, hey guys, I'm going to put together a committee that are going to look at one kind of coin, and we'll use that as a litmus test and decide if we even want to regulate it. That was an executive order. But the world took it as the U.S. is going to ban Bitcoin. They're going to follow by the U.K. who's going to ban Bitcoin. It's all speculation. And the government likes to, and I think I would go as far as to say, they love it. Hey, what do you want to say? China has banned Bitcoin every year for the past 12 years. Well, when we say we banned Bitcoin, we meant that we banned the movement of Bitcoin up and only in northern China. And then next year, well, when we said we banned Bitcoin, what we did was we removed the original ban that we made, and we changed it now where you can't transfer it peer-to-peer outside of Singapore. And then in 2014, they were like, well, when we said we banned Bitcoin, they just ban it. They ban the dumbest thing every year. But the news goes, oh, China's banned Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dead. It's fun.
It's always to do. It's always to do with the miners, isn't it? It's not even to do with.
Yeah, because
it's not even to do with retail. You and I holding Bitcoin in our little mobile phones.
yeah,
It's always down to the miners.
Think of the electrical vehicle controversies. What are you going to do when the grid collapses? What are you going to do when the batteries fail? What are you going to do when everybody plugs in at the same time? You got Bitcoin miners in Norway sucking trillions of kilowatt hours. And we go, well, it's good up there because they're using wind and turbine and hydro technology, right? When you plug in a Bitcoin ant miner into your apartment, right? And Con Ed goes, oh, you just shut down 16th Street. That's, well, sorry, Bitcoin's not very efficient. Right? So the miners know that. The miners go, let's explore how maybe, Tesla, leave it to Elon Musk. Elon Musk will say, I have an idea. Let's take the decommissioned batteries from the Tesla cars and create power banks that will set up in Canada to power Bitcoin miners until those batteries take their final step. Here's a good example of, look, I just created a whole recyclable, green, efficient Bitcoin mining industry. I'm a billionaire.
currently setting up the world's largest solar Bitcoin farm, isn't he, in Australia? Elon Musk, apparently.
That would be. I mean, that would take a lot of solar, but
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen some plans for it. Looks pretty interesting if it comes off. And if anyone can do it, he can.
he wanted to have Teslas generate Bitcoin by regenerative braking.
Nice, good idea.
I mean, think about it. Let's say you generate a whole nickel on a road trip. It's still a nickel.
Yeah,
Your car's giving you a nickel. What does that mean in 30 years?
Amazing.
yeah.
I think the next one you choose should be security.
All right.
Discuss security, and because that is, yeah, I'm going to be my own. And people love it. I'm going to be my own bank. I'm independent. I'm free. There's a lot of responsibility. There's a reason why PNC Bank spends $1 billion with a B a year in cybersecurity. And your name is Joey, who lives in Blue Balls, Pennsylvania. You don't have the same resource.
I think it's
PNC
Blue Bell, but yeah.
Is it Blue Bell?
Yeah.
All right,
Florida,
everyone.
New York. I've always loved Florida, New York. Where are you going? I'm going to Florida, New York.
Florida.
All right, everyone.
Well,
Thank you
lots
for your
to
time.
think about.
Thanks a lot, James. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, James.
Oh,
Looking
We'll do
forward
more of this
to
again.
the next class.
We'll do some security stuff perhaps next week.
yeah, I mean, a lot to build on. I mean, it's so
Hmm.
multifaceted for sure.
That was good, James. Yeah, very good. Very good, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for me, the person that has the least understanding of it is very good. So thank you.
So download the cyber.fm app and generate your wallet there.
Absolutely.
Shameless plug.
Look into
There you
that.
go.
Yes.
Hey, got to do it.
No problem. All right. Well, goodbye, guys. Enjoy the
See you
rest of your
later.
weekend. Take it easy.
Alrighty.
Nice
Ciao,
to chat,
everybody.
everyone.
Ciao.
Have a
Ciao,
nice
Kevin.
weekend,
Ciao,
everyone.
James. Ciao, Martin.
Ciao, everyone.
I'll see you later on New World. Okay. Ciao.
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 Ciao, ciao. Thanks a lot.